side who likes to say that blacks are descended from Cain. Obviously, not Herman Cain, of course. That was kind of a bad pun because, Herman Cain's last name is Cain, which is kind of ironic. But, in all seriousness, there is another side who says that blacks are descended from Cain and thus are cursed and all this. And first of all, we don't know who blacks are descended from other than the fact that they're descended from Ham. And that's not to be racist. That's just what it says. Right in Genesis 10:6-7. I was trying to remember the exact reference. And I was going to look at the brief description I put in a blog entry about that. Because I actually cite the specific verse there if you want to see it. And we don't know who Noah and his family are descended from, other than that we get Noah's name in connection to Seth and Adam. And we do know that Adam and Eve had other sons and daughters. And obviously other sons, meaning besides Abel, Cain, and Seth. But we don't know, as far as I remember, we don't know who those sons and daughters were who were not named. And so, you could go with the so-called oral Torah or tradition, but it's just better to stick with the scriptures, because when you don't stick with the scriptures, you get a lot of things messed up. For example, I'd always, not sure, I think unfortunately I did believe this for a long time. I grew up hearing that Mary's dad's name was Joachim, and if you actually look in the scriptures, it says that her dad's name was Eli, not Joachim, and we don't know the name of Mary's mother, so anyone who tells you that it's Hannah or Anna obviously does not know what they're talking about. So you have to be careful when you're trying to assume things outside of scripture. And not only that, but when you say that, blacks are cursed because they're descended from whoever, well then let's see, you would have to have the Egyptians are cursed, the Canaanites, whoever they are, if any of them still exist. There the Bible does indicate that they do. There are some Canaanites who still exist. Let's see, so you have Canaan, Mitzrayim, who's Egypt, Put, Libya, so that would mean Libya has to be cursed. And of course, Cush, we've already covered, is Africa, or the Africans. And besides, all nations in the end but Israel are going to be made to an end. So you have to look at that, and it's not, it's not that blacks are cursed, especially than anyone else or whatever. It's just that, some people, as I said, on the other side of things, want to make it like, oh, blacks are descended from Ham, thus they must be cursed, and this whole oral tradition sprang up, and you just really have to be careful, and you have to stick to scripture.